Hello Aries, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energies and predictions for the sign of Aries for the rest of May. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Aries, let's go ahead and get into this mid-May update for you. Do hope your month is going well, and I hope the month ends on an even better note for you, Aries. We'll go ahead and get all the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. Okay. And I think that's looking just about good enough to me for right now. All right. Energy on the bottom. You do have the Queen of Pentacles. All right, so Queen of Pentacles, this is all about sort of like taking a practical, hardworking approach to something in your situation. I really like what I see here for you when it comes to money stuff, career stuff. I almost feel like some of you are in like a period of like deep work right now, like a period of like really, really deep work. Like you are maybe working harder than you've ever worked. If you're still of working age, and even if you're not, let's say you don't have like a traditional job or you don't have a job, there's something that you're doing here that you are sort of like dedicating yourself to, you know? There's something that you're dedicating yourself to. Okay, and that might be like a house project, or it may be like some creative work, like maybe like to paint or something. But there's something that you are really, really dedicated to at this time, is what I feel from this Queen of Pentacles, and also some of the other cards here that are also present on the table. So let's see if we can kind of drill into this even more. I would also say that your habits here are really supporting you. The Queen of Pentacles person has like really solid habits, routines. I'll also say that this is somebody that can give you trusted advice in the tarot. Okay, so this is somebody who has knowledge, typically around financial areas or maybe in education as well. But this is somebody in your corner that can give you trusted advice. So let's try to hone in on this more here. So you have a very, very nice reading. Right away in the middle, you do have the Chariot here. So the Chariot is a card that in some respects can indicate as above, so below. You can see the star pattern here on the canopy, and you can see the sphinxes here below. And the idea is that the star pattern indicates the universe, the sphinxes indicate Earth. Okay, and so it's this idea that what we put out there really does reflect back to us. Like what we put out to the universe, it really does come back to us in some way, right? And the Chariot, it is a card of hard work, but it is a card of like progress as well. Like you know, making solid progress on something, and also like being pretty like victorious or successful in going forward with something. So I got this feeling right as I looked at the cards that you are like in this period of deep work, in this period of hard work around something. And I get the sense that your efforts will be rewarded here. Okay, if you have not already sort of reaped the harvest, so to speak, there is harvest energy here actually as I'm looking at the cards. But if you have not already sort of received that, it could be coming in here in the future for you, provided of course that you are in fact dedicated to something. Let's see what this might be around. So in the first column, you have the Eight of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Nine of Wands. So the Eight of Pentacles is literally a card of dedication, okay, in the tarot. This can indicate also like apprentices or apprenticeships as well. But you can see that this person is like chiseling this work here, this project. They've created all of these other projects. They're wrapping up this one. And you can see the mallet here, this idea of like building or craftsmanship. The Eight of Pentacles can really indicate craftsmanship in some way. And with that skill, I would also say that this is a good card for progress in your career. So this card can come forward when you're ready to be sort of like up leveled. Okay, so like maybe you are managerial, now you're going to executive role, or maybe you're not a manager, now you're getting promoted into a manager role, or maybe you're like level 1, now you're like level 3 or whatever. Okay, so you kind of get the idea here. People are noticing your hard work. Okay, this is all about dedication, hard work, skill, talent, ability. And there may even be somebody that you have an opportunity to learn under. That's not going to be for everyone, but there may be an opportunity to learn under someone, okay, with the Eight of Pentacles and then the Queen of Pentacles as well, being somebody who's pretty well respected and trusted. You may have an opportunity to sort of like work under this person. Yeah. What's interesting here is I think that with the Hermit, you have also been in this period of self-study, okay? Remember how I said it's not going to be everyone who has an opportunity to work under another person. So I think for the other people here, I almost see you like working away at night, like becoming an expert with the Hermit and the Eight of Pentacles, kind of really, really being almost obsessed about something, okay, that you are spending a significant amount of time on, Aries, at this time. Okay, this could be your personal business, but it may also just be your career. But there's something that you're very, very, very focused on here. Okay, I see that deeply, and I also think that there's a bit of like a guiding star in your life here at this time, as you see this person, the Hermit person, the Sage on the Hermit. They are holding the lantern that has the star in it. They're kind of letting the stars, if you will, picking up with this chariot analogy, to guide them. Okay, there's something that is propelling them forward to gain more knowledge, to get more skilled, to increase talent, all of these sorts of things, as you have the Eight of Pentacles and the Hermit, okay? This can also indicate like isolation. I do think that a larger portion of you are sort of going at this on your own, and that may indicate that you're self-employed. I don't always pick that up with the Hermit, but in this case, as I see this idea of craftsmanship here, this could be on the table. The thing is, the universe is testing you here with this Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands can sort of like, you could think of it as like a test from the universe, because basically you're there. Okay, basically you're there, but you're not there yet. So sort of like when you get the Nine of Wands, how will you, where will you go from here? You know, like, will you just stay at the finish line, or will you cross the finish line when you get the Nine of Wands? Okay, so in the middle column here, you have the Empress, you have the Chariot, and you also have the Sun card. What an amazing 3-card combination here in the middle. All right, so this is likely to be sort of like the central focus of your outcome, okay, with these 3 cards in the middle. The Empress, you can just see all of the like crops here on the card, right? The Empress is associated with prosperity and abundance, and you can see all of these, like the bushes, the crops, the overflowing water, all of the trees in the background. This is an idea that this is the idea that there could be some big level of abundance available to you. It is in the upper row, which is typically your thoughts. So if you're not there yet, I think that you kind of see the higher timeline of this outcome, like you see how this can happen for you, provided that you continue making this progress, which is so critically important for you at this time with the the Chariot and the Eight of Pentacles. So you see the you see the end game here with the Empress. You then have the Sun card, which is basically the best card to find in the tarot. This means that you are also picking up you are also taking on the energy of positivity. This is also a card of abundance, satisfaction, and victory, success in the tarot. Living your best life. You can see I think it's a cherub in the tarot, but I'm not entirely sure. The person on the horse here, they are really, really living their best life. Okay, and they're not only letting the stars guide them, but they're letting the sun guide them. And with that, they are embracing this idea of positivity. This card also augments the cards around it. So the idea is that you really are being tested here with the Nine of Wands to complete something or to actually see something through, particularly with the chariot, the Nine of Wands, really, really being tested to see something through and absolutely to not give up. When you get the Nine of Wands, the worst thing you could do is give up, okay? What I feel like saying is whatever you're doing now is working, okay? And, you know, personally and just through my experiences, the best thing to do, like if something's working, you should continue doing that. Okay, you should absolutely continue doing that. I know it's sort of like a mundane thing to say, but many people, like they have something that's working and then they try to hop into something else. But if something is working for you, which it seems like it is, this is a real opportunity for you to kind of put the foot on the gas pedal and go for it, like drive through it, you know, continue letting that be the thing that brings you success in your life, particularly at this time as you have the Chariot and the Sun card. Yeah. In the final column here, you have the Temperance card, the Knight of Cups, and the Three of Wands. So we see another sign here of like abundance. As you can see, the tree, the bushes here, the flowers here are growing. The sun is coming up in the background, the halo behind the angel on the Temperance card. And I think that basically the sky is the limit for you. I genuinely feel like there's a real opportunity for you to actually complete something that you have been so dedicated to here. Yeah, like you can actually see this come in. And with the Temperance card as well, it can really indicate alchemy. So that's the idea of like creating something, right? Taking the talents and the skills and the knowledge that you've built here with the Eight of Pentacles and the Hermit and actually creating something, making alchemy, like actually seeing it happen, performing alchemy, right? What I would also say is the Temperance card, it can indicate like moderation and balance. But I will say that there are times where it's good to have work-life balance, and there are also times where you just have to put the foot on the gas pedal, right? So that you know, allow the momentum to continue carrying you forward. And I feel like this is one of those times for you. This might not be a time for work-life balance because it feels like you are really on the precipice, you're on the edge here of this manifestation that you have wanted for a long time. And so why take your foot off the gas pedal, right? There will be opportunities later in the future for you to create that balance. But sometimes, like the most successful people, they probably don't have work-life balance, you know? So it depends on like what you want at this point. You know, it depends on where you want to be going at this point at this stage in your situation, in your life. Do you really want to go for it? Because if you do, it's here. But that may also mean that you have to sacrifice some things in order to actually see that through. Especially with this Three of Wands, which can indicate expansion and growth into something. Okay, this is all about expansion and growth. And then the Knight of Cups, it can really indicate that there's some happiness here on the horizon for you. It's like an event that could make you feel pretty happy here. It's good for love, but this isn't really a love reading. Maybe we'll get some additional love messages. Why don't we go ahead and move into the clarifications portion of this reading and see what the cards have to clarify for you. We'll start off by looking at some oracle cards, okay? And then we'll go from there. All right, well, I guess we'll take those three as well. So energy on the bottom is, yeah, nice. Three of Cups, rejoice and celebration. I definitely, in the future, feel like there's something to celebrate here, assuming that you continue riding this wave of momentum that I think you very clearly have. You have hope here, as well as suffering in silence is kind of an interesting one. Maybe some people don't realize what you're doing kind of like in your downtime with this Hermit card to make this happen. Okay, I think some of you are spending a significant time maybe on your own here as you work towards something. You have recognition and reward as well as temptation. Amazing. Temptation is the devil. It can indicate power. Okay, the positive side of the devil is that you have first, you have a desire, right? Some desires are good, some desires are maybe not so good. And then this idea of power is sometimes good and not so good, right? But power on its own can be a good thing. And I think that you have this sort of force about you right now that is leading you to where you want to be going. let's take a look at these last three cards. You have solar plexus, there's power, and base chakra. So the solar plexus is the power center that is right in your abs. Okay, like right, that's where the chakra is, like in the abdomen. And the best way to flex or to increase the solar plexus energy is to work out. It's also to, anytime that you have an opportunity to be confident, this is about your power and your confidence, the solar plexus. Anytime you have an opportunity to do that, it will increase the solar plexus energy that you have. You then have the base chakra, which is at the base of your body, and that is basically your root level needs. Okay, so like your feeling of being safe in a situation or rooted or grounded in a situation. You then have disruption. Okay, that's the tower. Could be a surprise here, which is in this type of reading a good thing. Okay, remember the tower can be good as well. It depends. You have to blend the meanings of the cards. So the tower could be a nice surprise that's happening for you. Why don't we go ahead? It could also be this test from the universe, by the way. Okay, on a more challenging note, there could be, I do think that you're being tested to complete something, okay? And it's going, like you're in the driver's seat here. So it's up to you how you want to handle that. Now, Aries, I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And I do hope things are going well. All right, let's go ahead and clarify these original 9 tarot cards here. You have the Sun again, amazing. You have 4 of Swords, and you have the 3 of Cups. Okay. I see you overcoming this test, this challenge from the universe very clearly here. 3 of Cups, you have this Rejoice and Celebration, which is the 3 of Cups in the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. And it's clarifying the 9 of Wands, which is this card that I've been honing in on, indicating a test. Okay? So backs against the wall, what will you do? Will you cross the finish line? Will you finish it out, or will you not? The choice is yours. I think that you will cross the finish line, okay? And you will feel very happy, okay? There will be like an incredible amount of joy as you actually see something. You know, you'll realize that, you know what, I took ownership over this thing, and I'm proud of myself for doing it. You know, and you may even have an opportunity to go out with some, you know, close family or friends or whatever the case may be, colleagues here with this 3 of Cups, this idea of like rejoicing with other people. You then have the 4 of Swords and the Sun card. I feel like you can rest later. I know this is not advice that you always get on like tarot, but or in like spiritual communities, but like I am a big fan of rest for sure. But it's almost, the feeling is that you can rest when this is done. And some of you will like that, some of you will not. But you are an Aries, so you know you are the leader of the zodiac. I know that some of you are really workhorses, power horses. If you're watching this, forces. And yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think this is definitely coming in with the Sun and the 8 of Pentacles. It's highlighting this dedication, whatever it is that you're dedicated to right now. Some of you, this is work, it's another situation, whatever it is. It's really, really being highlighted in this reading. Okay, and it says that this could be very successful for you. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Justice card, and the 6 of Pentacles. It is interesting as I talk about, you know, maybe not the time for work-life balance. We are getting these cards of balance here. The scales, you have 2 scales here now coming in, which indicate balance in the tarot. Also indicate karma and justice. So really karma, I say this all the time, but it's important because there's this weird connotation around the word karma. It's just like the bank or the scales of your actions. Okay, so the scales are going up or down, tipping in one direction or the other based on the choices and the decisions and the actions that you're taking. Okay, and the Justice card says that we all get the outcome we deserve. Okay, and we deserve what we do. Okay, based on what we do is what we do. This is what we deserve to get. And in this case, this is all derived back to this progress. This is all being derived back from this progress and this hard work and this dedication that you have to something here. Okay, and I think the scales are tipping in your favor at this time. Okay, and the universe is saying, you know what, you deserve this. This is yours. Enjoy it. This is what it is. You've clearly given yourself to something here with the 6 of Pentacles. That looks at your sort of like exchange of energy, the inflow, outflow of energy that's happening, right? And it's, again, falling on the Sun card. So you've got the Sun with the 8 of Pentacles. You have the Sun with the Six of Pentacles. This is all tying back to what you're putting out there, okay, and how dedicated you are. Finally, with the Wheel of Fortune, you know, at times in life, we're just at the right place at the right time. And the Wheel of Fortune is basically that energy, being at the right place at the right time, putting yourself in a position to be lucky, and then allowing yourself to bring in the luck that just may happen. Luck is a random variable in life. We cannot control luck. But we can absolutely do the things we need to do to put ourselves in position to get lucky. And the Wheel of Fortune says your destiny could be here, you know, and that's not always something that you can control. You can control your actions, right? And I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune, kind of what I'm trying to say here is you can control your actions, right? You can control your actions, which will then open that path to the destiny that may be available to you. But when that happens is out of our control. It's a random variable, right? So doing the same thing day in, day out, working hard, being dedicated, all of these things are very, very good for us to do, especially when we feel so aligned to something like you do. You have the Five of Swords. You have the Knight of Cups. Is that with the Knight of Cups? Yeah, it is. And then the Seven of Cups here. All right, so you can see the event happening in your mind. Okay, you really can. You can see this finishing. You can see this closing out. You can see the finish line here with the Knight of Cups, and the universe is saying it's really, really, really available to you. Like you can see all of this in plain sight, in plain view, with the Knight of Cups twice. Now it's just a matter of getting there. You know, now it's just a matter of getting there, pointing your arrow, and you know, hitting the target, so to speak. Five of Swords is with the Temperance card, okay? It's interesting because I think that this is reiterating this idea of like not taking your foot off the gas pedal and actually seeing it, because the Five of Swords may indicate loss, but you have so much momentum, okay? You have so much momentum. Remember, one card in a reading like this isn't going to change the reading. Yeah, that's what I think. There's so much momentum here. Three of Cups then, the choices are basically unlimited for you as you have the Three of Wands with the Seven of Cups. This idea of being able to expand and grow into something, you have an unlimited amount of choices to do that because you've put yourself in this position with the Justice card. And now you get what you deserve, which is, I think, a really pleasurable, solid outcome for you. On the bottom, you have the World, which is a completion in the tarot. So this is absolutely certain. World indicates certainty. I can't tell you exactly what the timeline is. Timeline's really hard to wrap down in the tarot, but the World really indicates certainty around the completion. So that is the card I would want to see for you in this type of reading. Let's go ahead and let's see what's in the Kipper energies for you. All right. You have unexpected income. I like that with the Tower. You have imprisonment, you have thoughts, adjudication, concern, and toil and labor. Okay, don't let your thoughts take control here with the imprisonment card and the thoughts. You are absolutely in the driver's seat here. You are in the power position here, and it's all derived back from this hard work with this toil and labor card, as well as the dedication that you have to something. Here's the scales again with adjudication and justice, right? The scales here are tipping in your favor. So this is incredible. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.